Alright, so this is a little video demonstrating the New York drum compression technique, which is also known as parallel compression, and it's a way of getting a really nice beefy drum sound. It's parallel compression because what we do is we take all of our drum channels and we send them all to a bus. So in Logic I just select all of them along the bottom, click on one of the sends, let's send it to bus 10, and then alt click, it just normalizes them all at 0 dB, and that will send them all to bus 10. Here we are, here's an aux. Let's name that drum parallel. Now that bus has come up as mono, we can see there. We don't want that, let's put it in stereo. Click the little circle at the top and we see two linked rings, which tells us it's a stereo channel. If there's just a single ring, that means it's a mono one. Great. And what we're going to do on this bus is apply a compressor. Let's get Logic's compressor and choose Studio FET. That's the 1176 copy. And let's put up quite a high ratio, so it's almost limiting. And let's bring the threshold down until we see quite a lot of gain reduction. So that's going pretty, cutting like -20 there. Also what I like to do is shorten the release, because that's going to give us a bigger, it's going to bring the level of the room up. So you can hear as we go shorter, the kick drum tail goes longer. Finally, for a bit of saturation, I'm going to put on soft distortion. I'm just looking at the output here. It's saturating a bit too much, so let's do the gain manually. That auto gain sometimes is too much, so turn that off. Let's just bring that gain up, sort of. That looks better. Great. Let's close that. I noticed there wasn't much overhead in there, so let's bring the overhead up. Already adding something to the drums just by muting and unmuting. After the compression, let's put in an EQ, and here what we're going to do is boost the low end. Let's grab somewhere around the lows, perhaps 80 Hertz is quite a good one to start off with. If you want some default settings, try 80 Hertz, 8 decibels boost. Let's do another one. Let's do it around 10. I'm going to get a bell curve, so that one. 10K, around another 8 dB of boost. We can see that's quite a wide boost there, so I'm going to make it a bit more narrow by narrowing the Q. Great, let's have a listen to that. Immediately you can hear that sort of top and bottom is kind of really hyped up. It's way too much, so let's bring the fader all the way down. And what I'm going to do is just bring in the level. We're going to listen to the drums naked first, and then we're going to bring in that parallel bus underneath it. because what we want it to do is kind of enhance the excitement without overpowering our original dry sound. So let's hit play and just bring up the fader. And we'll A-B it using the mute, just to hear. So it gets louder, but it also gets a bit punchier, and we kind of, it's just a bigger drum sound. And that's it. That's the parallel processing on the drums, using aux sends to a stereo bus, and we put heavy compression. Used on its own, that would be way too much, but when it's mixed in underneath the dry sound, it can sound quite nice.